2026. And I'm gonna speak about Roskilde Festival again. And then there's people like, why do you want to speak on that? You have spoken on that several times. You have done so many videos on the subject on the incident, but there is 12 accidents on the festival that doesn't add up because of system failure and system failure and system, I don't know, let's just say system failure. No conspiracy, no alternative. It's just how the court system works, and this is how the festival works. It doesn't look good on the paper when somebody is committed for alleged murder, and it was on their ground, so nobody was convicted. And I don't care about people who die of an overdose of drugs. I don't care, because they die every year. These accidents happen on the ground of Roskilde Festival. I don't care about the other things. It doesn't. It's just, it happens every day. So, or alcohol poisoning or whatever. Who cares? It's just system failure and system corruption that these people are not convicted of anything, because it's so weird, it's so strange. And you only care about this, and I'm not gonna go into the auto hoaxing part because I don't know. It's hard to prove nowadays that event is a hoax, right? I don't know. I could go both ways. Let's just keep on the real story. But anyhow, conspiracy or not, these people are not convicted, and it's so weird, so strange. And we don't have to talk about the accident, the 29th or 30th of June 2000, because I've talked about it so many times. I have to go back here. There was, let me see here. There was this woman, for instance. She went up on the tower, and the tower came down on her, and for years Roskilde Festival said it was a suicide. This tower was on the ground. It was on 2011. It's 15 years ago. This tower was built. They built it for years and years. They said it was a suicide, but no, it was an accident. I was not supposed to go down on her. The weird thing is, she was not drunk. She was not stoned. She didn't have hard drugs on her body. It was really weird. And she was 35. Let's see if we can translate it. Just a moment. I know my My YouTube is very organic. I don't know if I have to cut this out, but that's that. See if there's a English. Hmm. See if we can translate this article into English. Ah, here you go. Websites. Here we go. Note reveals Susan death at Roskilde was an accident. The 35-year-old Susan Herschel, who lost her life at the Roskilde Festival July 3rd, 2011, when she fell to the earth from the 26-meter high tower, apparently did not commit suicide. She died because a safety net burst beneath her. This is stated in a memo from the Danish Working Environment Authority, which TV2 Denmark has been granted access to. The Danish Working Environment Authority accepted Tuborg Tower on the same day as the accident after briefing at the police station in Roskilde. The note contains a summary of the police investigation on the day of the accident and the expectionators' own of observations. The note states that the woman was in a good mood when she took an elevator up to the so-called Sky Bar. According to the note, Susan Herschel was naked when she came up. Here she goes out into the bar area where at one point she runs up the stairs to the VIP area where the access to the prohibit. The guard in the bar tries to stop her. The woman says to the guard, "Haha, you can't catch me," after which the woman runs further up the stairs to the VIP area, writes the Danish Working Environment Authority. Jump caused net to collapse under the woman. When she reached the VIP area, she made the decision that would cost her life. Few seconds later, writes the Danish Working Environment Authority, the woman forced the railing and jumps onto the net that stretched out and to prevent objects from falling from the sky bar. The woman jumps onto the net for the few seconds until it breaks and the woman falls down, and the note says, the woman dies on the spot after failing. When the Mid-Vigilance police reported on the incident the next day, the police wrote the following in the press release about the accident. Based on our investigation, among other things, questioning witnesses, the police have concluded this is suicide. The police press officer expressed the same point of view to TV2 Denmark on the day of the accident after the Danish Working Environment Authority had visited. We have a strong suspicion that she jumped herself, but her investigations are not 100% complete. The communications officer said at the time, something suggests that she went up, then jumped out from there, but we need to absolutely sure of that before we conclude the investigation. Earlier that day, however, the police had told and showed the Police Working Environment Authority that the woman did not jump, but to fell her death because the net in the Tubo Tower collapsed beneath her. The police primarily conclusion from the day of the accident has since been disappointed on several accusations by both witnesses and family. She was standing and dancing and it collapsed under her, and it doesn't look like suicide in that way, says Jäger Altman, father of Susan Herschel's two girls, to DR News after the accident. Something that another witness confirmed as recently as Tuesday. It didn't look like suicide, but an accident. It was told to DR by Thor Madsen, who was close to the accident. And a blood test later showed that Susan Hill was neither under influence of beer or nor drugs. You can hear the stupidness. Who would be naked and jump out and not to commit suicide naked? There's something wrong. Somebody's lying. Who would be and her behavior was out of proportion. I mean, who would do that sober? I know there's so many sober people who don't wear clothes and what's it called, nudist beach and nudist environments and stuff like that, communities. But is this girl a nudist? Come on, who would do this as sober? Come on. Somebody's fucking lying here, you know? And that's why it's system failure, because the court system and the festival is totally corrupted, and they don't want to be convicted for anything. It doesn't look good on the paper, right? When the Danish Working Environment Authority inspected the Tuborg Tower, it saw with its own eyes the net had collapsed under the woman. One of them is seen in the influence of the top of the article. From the skybar, staircase leads up to the VIP area, which is similar to the skybar. Here too, railings are measured to the 125 centimeters high. Here can you see now defected net that the woman jumped on the nets. The net was stretched over the square frame, consisting of 4 states. When Susan Hessel jumped onto the net, she tore out her 4 slats and fell to the death, along with the uttermost of her 4 slats. I don't know if I have to read it all. I was soon finished. It can be seen that the two batters attaching to the floor uh, protruded from the structure are intact. The net hangs vertical, still attached to the inner part of the wooden frame. The outermost batten is gone, and two screws in each side that held the outermost batten are exposed, writes the Danish work inspectorate. Inspector, Inspectorate. It has not been possible for TV2 Denmark to get a comment from the Midwest Sjællands police, who have probably refused to comment further on the matter. In a statement published by DR Tuesday, and the police wrote, the police have not the investigation case question, and therefore have not concluded whether it's a suicide or not. According to Lars Bjerg, associate with professor at the Danish School of Media and Journalism, the police has the conclusion on the day of the accident. The day is very problematic. Partly, the travel insurance refused to cover the repatriation of her body. You can see here. You can see the corruption. No, no, no. It's two people that's corruption, who gives money under the table. No, you can see here. This is corruption. This is system failure. Partly her travel insurance refused to cover the repatriation of her body, but the family has previously said that the most important thing for them is that Susan Herschel's two young daughters, Eileen and Lorenzina, should not grow up with the story that their mother chose to her life. Yeah, okay. The police have not yet announced what will happen in the case. According to the Danish Working Environment Authority, the construction of the Tuborg Tower was not legal. You can see during the visit by the Danish Working Environment Authority, not conditions that the contravene the Working Environment Act could be identified. The authority writes in its note after the accident, Roskilde Festival does not wish to comment on the episode today and refers to the Mid and West Zealand police. You can see how the festival is run. Corruption, CEOs, and all of that shit. I mean, come on, use your fucking brain. Let's see if the family got any insurance. Did the family did the family get insurance? What the fuck? Sorry. Did the family, I know you're stepping people under the toes. I don't care. If you have to be activist, you have to do this. Did the family get... Nope. I'm doing people's work here. People are dead asleep. Dead asleep. Let's look at the AI. There is no public record indicating whether Susan Herschel's family received an insurance payout following her tragic death at the Roskilde Festival. The primary barrier to standard accidental death insurance or liability payouts was a long-standing dispute over official case of death. And enters suicide ruling when Susan Herschel died in 2011 after falling from a 26-meter high zip line tower, Tuborg Tower. The Danish police quickly ruled it suicide. The standard private life accidental insurance policies typically feature inclusive exclusive uh, clause that void payouts in case of suicide. Herschel's family, supported by multiple eyewitnesses, vehemently rejected the suicide theory. They spent nearly 2 years fighting to get access to the case documents to prove she did not deliberately jump. You can see here. Read it. There's no auto hoaxing here. I'm trying to go down in the official story. You can see here. I can read it again so you can see it for yourself. Herschel's family, supported by multiple eyewitnesses, vehemently rejected the suicide theory. They spent nearly 2 hours fighting to gain access. You can see how the police workers, they're so stubborn, they're lazy. The police work is why are there police when they're making these mistakes and system failure all of the time, almost? Why? And the festival doesn't want to interfere. You can see the problems here. Um, the family's pushback. Herschel's family, supported by I've read that. Accident correction. In June 2013, a leaked memo from the Danish Working Environment Authority, Arbejdstilsynet, revealed that she actually died because a safety net split snapped when she stepped into it. Following this, the police officially walked back in the internal conclusion, admitting it was a tragic accident. But there's something wrong. She was totally drunk. She was naked when she died. She was completely naked when the tower collapsed on her, and the death autopsy says she didn't have any beer, wine, alcohol, weed, hard drugs in her body. Come on, it sounds. Would you do this when you were sober? No, it doesn't add up. Come on, system failure. The system corruption. If you're researching on if you're researching on this specific, can you provide more as okay? So that was that. So that was the one of the cases that happened, and the festival has not been responsibility for the action and was never convicted about the tower. How good is this festival with 12 people supposedly dying? All really died. I just read the other day, leave the dead people alone. I mean, if we're not allowed to talk about the dead people, why am I here? I'm trying to debunk conspiracy and mainstream. I'm trying to reach out to people so they can wake up to this bullshit. People are sleeping. The court system is corrupted. You can see here. It's fucking corrupted, man. Woman, wake the fuck up, man. Let's see here. I hope I have not enough juice on my phone. Then, excuse me, I have to make another video. But we can see if we can do that. Then there was the homeless guy already. Did I already make a video about that? I think I already did that, but let's talk about it again. I can talk briefly about it again because This will be a video connecting all the 12 cases, and I have to talk about the 9 men again in 2000. But the homeless homeless guy. Let's have it again, just for repeating. I know. You already made a video about that. Why you not talking about the Iran war or Donald Trump or the political system or the new government in Denmark? They're talking about free dental. I don't give a shit right now. This is human life that has been taken, and nobody is being responsibility about it. It's insane that people are sleeping, man, woman, homeless guy died. Let's see if it's in English. I have to translate it. Excuse me. Died on Roskilde Festival 2004. Yeah, you can see here. I've already done a video. I think it was in Danish. I think I put translation in it, but who cares? This is on repeat. During the massive cleanup the following Roskilde Festival, July 2004 and 2024, a 50-year-old homeless Polish man tragically died after being run over by a tractor on the festival grounds. Okay, let me think about that. How can you run a tractor over a person who's lying in a tent? Can't you feel the tractor is run over a human being? It sounds really insane, and there's something wrong here. This time, this story I will go by. This could be a hoax, because there's no evidence or proof to back it up. But the other story about the Susan Herschel is real, because this doesn't make it doesn't. It's too insane to be real. And I'm trying not to be an auto hoaxer, but people still think I'm a conspiracy person. I'm trying to move away from conspiracies. I want to talk about system failure, government mistakes, but media mistakes, you know. But I think I don't know. This is very speculation, because you run over a 52-year-old guy in his tent. Oh my fucking god, that's too insane. It's too insane. And I've been at the last. I have been a volunteer at the Roskilde Festival. Now the last day is Saturday, so you have to be out Sunday at 2 o'clock. When I was at the festival, I've been there 9 times. The last day was Sunday night or Sunday evening, so you have to be out Monday morning at 2 o'clock. So I've seen this with my own eyes. There comes a tractor and tears all of the tents down. So how can you not be aware that a person sleeping in a tent who is drunk? I mean, this story is so insane. The man was struck by a tractor while it was driving through a tent city during a manual waste collection and clearing operations. Police suspected he was resting or sleeping in a distressed tent when he was run over. Come on. It's so hoax. Official investigations, Arbejdstilsynet, the Danish Working Environment Authority, investigated the accident and found out the volunteers were working in dangerous conditions. Come on. System failure, no conspiracy. System failure. Because of the system branches surrounding the cleanup organization, Gaderum Regnbuen was ensued for a fine of 73,800 Danish kroner. And what about this guy who ran him over? He was never convicted. Let's look it up. tractor guy runs over homeless person roskilde, not convicted. The 73-year-old tractor driver was literally cleared of responsibility and he faced no personal criminal charges. Instead, the legal financial accountability was replaced entirely on non-profit organization. The case details regarding why the driver was not convicted included no base for prosecution. Danish authorities determined that the driver could not have seen or known the 52-year-old homeless man was resting inside the flattering discarded tent on the ground. Come on. Come on. Following the legal clearance of the driver, the leader of the volunteer organization Gaderummet publicly accepted the full responsibility, stated that the organization failed to provide a safety-worthy environment. Workplace Safety Fine, the Danish Working Environment Authority, Arbejdstilsynet, resulted that the organization for following volunteers to walk and sleep in the areas with the active heavily machinery, resulting 73,800 Danish kroner fine for the charity rather than jail time for conviction for the driver. You can see, human life is human life. It doesn't matter. Allegedly murder, you did something wrong, you took somebody's life, you're not convicted for anything. No, and the festival doesn't take actions for it. It's on the festival's ground. It sounds so insane. It sounds so wrong. But again, it doesn't look good on the paper when the festival is convicted for anything. So they didn't take it to trial, right? There's completely something wrong about this. I don't know how much that is in dollars or pounds or euros or whatever. Look it up for yourself. But it's a lot of money. But that you can see, it was their responsibility, and I mean, I can see this with my own eyes. If you run a person over with a tractor, wouldn't there be any blood? Can't you feel on the tractor when you are running a person over? It sounds really insane. And this guy is not convicted of anything. Come on. Come on. Something else happened. This is a totally distraction. It's forgetting more rules, agendas, fear mongering, paranoia, bullshit, security, safety net, whatever. And they want to they want to say that all homeless people are drunk and stoned, and they don't take actions for their life. It's trauma dumping up in your face. And you know what? Actually, the homeless people, they know something. They know that we have system failure and government mistakes and media failure and some few conspiracies and alternative stuff. They know it. And that's why they're looking down on this person. It's a homeless guy. Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? So it's there. We don't care. He was just drunk. And you only care about this when you know something is wrong. When you don't know something is wrong, you don't care about allegedly murder. You only care about real murder stories, right? It was an accident. It was an accident. It was his own purpose. It was a tractor, right? Come on. Come on, come on. People are dead asleep. People have too much ego, too much pride. They are dead asleep. They're closing their eyes wide shut. You know the movie is called like that. Eyes wide shut. It's supposed to be eyes wide awake or open. No, people wanna be they wanna be skeptical and critical. Yeah, yeah, but they don't want to go up to the next level. It's all right. It's okay to be skeptical and critical. Even I am skeptical and critical, but people are not too much skeptical and critical. And that's why they're dead asleep and nothing's going to happen because people care about shallow life, career, jobs, kids, traveling, tattoos, porn, video games, movies, TV shows, walking in the forest, and so on and so on. People don't care about other lives. It sounds like it. They don't care about corruption. No, they just want to be in a group and not being an outcast. So I don't think we can make the other story. So I have to get some more juice on my phone. I don't think. So I will end this video and make another one. So take care for now. Bye bye.